I want to challenge you to do something real quick, kind of like a game. I'm going to name off a big list of people, and I want you to try to see if you can figure out what they all have in common. Abel, Enoch, Noah, Abraham, Sarah, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, Moses, the people of Israel, Rahab the prostitute, Gideon, Barak, Samson, Jephthah, David, Samuel, and the Old Testament prophets. What do they all have in common? It has something to deal with the Old Testament. Okay, I'll tell you. They are all mentioned in Hebrews chapter 11. Now, why is that? Why would they all be referenced? If you have any kind of Old Testament knowledge, you know that these are almost all the major characters of the Old Testament. So is that what it is? Kind of. Some of them are directly related. That's not really it, though. Here's what it is. Let me read this first verse and see if you can figure it out. It says, "Now faith is the reality of what is hoped for, the proof of what is not seen." Hebrews chapter 11 is all about faith. And they give us 18 different examples of faith shown through the Old Testament. I've had a lot of people ask me, why is the Old Testament so important? You know, Jesus is in the New Testament, and the church, gets started in the New Testament, and all these messages of grace and salvation under Christ is really talked about in the New Testament. What do we need the Old Testament for? Well, the New Testament is telling us to live by the examples of all of these Old Testament people. The Old Testament examples give us lives for us to live by. And you shouldn't just do this with people in the Bible. Look at the other Christians who've lived longer than you have and see, hey, what have they done in their life that I need to model myself after? David and Abraham and Solomon, they weren't perfect people, but they did some things good, and we should model after them. And the biggest thing that this chapter suggests that we model is their faith. Have faith. It's the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things that we haven't seen. God is going to call us to have a lot of faith in our walk with Him. So the question is, are you going to have it?